I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We are joined by Isa L Quetzal. Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. If you could introduce yourself to everybody.
Pleasure to be here. I'm Isa L Quetzal. I am a Hispanic, specifically from Guatemala, Canadian streamer.
Mm-hmm.
I mostly do various type of different games, mostly collabs. Currently running a huge charity. So it's been a fun journey.
Yeah.
Still very new at it.
Yeah. So tell me about the charity. What's going on there?
So right now, Onyx Otter Girl is partnered with me and a few other of my groups who's helped, the LA fires currently happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing a charity, which the hashtag is #SOS LA Fires.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing it through Tilify, and it's going to be running it started early today, and it's going to be going all the way until next Sunday. So we have various members of different communities working together.
Yeah, that's excellent. Congratulations for that, and thank you for that. That's a lot of people. I think that when we see something like that happen, we don't recognize the magnitude of it because we're not there.
No, it's a case of we don't always realize how much life is impacted through it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a case of you either have to be there or you know people are there until you realize what's going on. And some of the people that are partnered with us with this event, the Onyx Otter Girl has connections to it. I have family down in that area, so it's always about what can we do to promote helping others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's always good, by the way, if you can do that. But this is very much needed, and those of us in other states across the U.S., we don't know necessarily. California tends to be put in the it's rich, it can do it at once, but
yes,
yeah, you're not that rich if everything you have is burnt up. That's
mm-hmm.
And that's not something anybody should have to go through. And the fire is not done yet; it's still going.
Yeah, no, it's still ongoing.
Yeah, it's really an incredible thing to have still going on. And thank you for that. That's big-hearted of you, and you get.
I'm just happy to help. Yeah.
Yeah. You get
as I said, Aonix is the one that approached me about the ideas, and I was like, since I have a huge server of multiple streamers that we call ourselves the Strays.
Yes.
And we kind of just work together on different projects. And when she approached me about this, I decided all right, I'm gonna talk to the rest of the what can we do? What collabs can we make to try to promote it as much as possible while also reaching out to other communities that we know are connected with.
Yep. Yeah. And now you mentioned the Strays. Now I would like to know everything about this. I think this is very interesting. Well, how did this come about? Why did it come about?
So the Strays originally, back in when I first started, I started meeting people through Finyanya, which is a shark VTuber. She's gotten some popularity, really big. She hasn't yet debuted, but I joined her server early on, and there I met a bunch of other streamers, specifically Mr. Krim, Asen, and Kahileha. And so I met them through it, and I wanted to meet other people. So over time, I met people like Renami Binks, Paratize, the Pink Scooter, and we I kind of at the start was just gathering friends together, and just finding a way to play with them. And as I gathered more and more people, such as Todd Majestic Fuyu and the Agaric Witch Atria. It just slowly grew into more and more streamers playing together, and the idea came into working as a group together to promote other streamers, push ourselves forward, help each other to get better as streamers. And we occasionally will do now stuff we call them the straight assembles, where we'll go into a random streamers and we'll just give them a bunch of new followers and yell on Blue Sky hey, go give this person extra followers, let's help them get their goals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then just more and more people have joined over time, and it's a fun way to collabing with friends, meeting new people, experiencing new things.
Yeah, well, That sounds amazing. I mean, that really sounds like there's a lot of pluses coming out of that all the way around,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of surprised that we don't see more of it. Um,
There-
it sounds
There's
like
a
it'd be a template
few.
that someone would use.
Yeah.
Um, so I
Like
think, yeah,
I got inspired a little bit by so the Queen of Lies, aka Valerie.
yeah,
I got inspired from her server, which is called the Cortlands,
mm-hmm,
and she when I first joined because she was one of the people who helped me on my start because I was very new. I only been streaming since August,
mm-hmm,
and I'd met her around I think early September when most people were shifting into Blue Sky,
mm-hmm,
and like I joined her community, and she like how she approached her community and all the streamers inside her community, and how she likes to do what's basically a support stream every I would say like every once Sunday every like month,
right,
where she'll just like have people say, okay, give me your names. We're gonna talk about you, and we're gonna go on stream to your channel. If you're live, we're gonna go in there, kind of like a forced raid, like
mm-hmm,
send all the people watching her stream, stuff like that. So that's one of the things that inspired me a lot with the approach of the strays.
you know, and it's a great concept, and I'm I'm amazed at how well it works, and I'm glad for you because I think that's something that I think that should be happening more and more often, and people kind of get themselves locked into um, organizations and types of things. This seems more like a communal effort, and everybody contributes and everybody gets help. A much
Yes,
more genial way to do things.
the point of like the idea was trying to make it as general as possible. So,
Mm,
uh, I always try to bring as many different type of streamers. So we have V singers, we have LootTubers, we
mm,
have Seiso tubers, we have people like me who are more like gremlins, and then we have people who are just like the very chills. And well, like I wanted them to like find each other, like connect with different people, find a way to like make new friends, and maybe like give new ideas. Like Pirate when she joined with the dual witches, which
mm,
is Fuyu and Atria.
mm,
Fuyu and Atria in Pirate, both all of them use a voice model kind of system. So they're not using the real voices; they're using a system where they can alter the voices.
right, right.
The original system the Fuyu and Atria use was good, but Pyra had used it for years and gave them ideas how to make it better.
Mm.
And so like that's one of the things that I loved. Like they helped each other figure out how can we process streaming in a new way and make ourselves better.
Cool. That's the type of uplifting thing that you like to hear. In anything that where people are willing to help out, can help out, and aren't just running somebody over to help out. I mean,
Hmm.
and that's the type of camaraderie you don't see a lot in anything these days. And I'm glad you've been able to find it this way. This is good. This is good stuff. And
I, I,
anytime
I
you
always
want to,
enjoyed on that.
anytime you want to promote that on the Discord, please do. Because
Oh, thank you.
yeah, that's good stuff. So when did you get started with the VTubing?
So I officially started. So in technically, my first stream was around the 9th of August of last year.
Mm,
So I'm very very new,
yeah.
and I haven't figured out a lot of things. I'm constantly struggling with certain things, and but luckily with the community I have, like Pyra, Fuyu, Atria will help me some things. Lilia Lurks has helped me set up some other stuff,
Hmm.
and the other people have like they'll give me ideas and tell me like you can use this program to help you with this. So I'm a very, very new streamer, and I have no idea how I'm about to hit 500. So
Well,
it's a very interesting journey.
yeah, well, I mean, you're in a group that helps you out for one. That's a
Hmm.
good way to break in. But two, obviously, you're pretty good at this, or at least, I mean, people don't just show up and stay if they're told to. They show up and stay
Hmm.
because they enjoy the person doing it, and so you get to have credit for that. Okay.
Thank you, thank you. I like I like giving credit a lot more for the other people because I feel everything that works well for what we've done has been because every person in there has put some effort into something.
Right.
We have artists who are gladly like pushing different art ideas and they work with each other. The logo that we now have, which I use, the Strays logo themselves,
Mm-hmm.
was created by Winter Morales,
Mm-hmm.
who like came up. There was a discussion like we wanted a new logo, and everybody talked, and it was like their design fully what everybody's else opinions like, hey, how would this look better like this?
Yeah.
It's a nice communal work, and I
Yeah.
love that about them.
That's good, and keep that going as much
Mm,
as possible in you know, I mean, you've seen it that it can get pretty sharp tongued and claws out sometimes in VTuber communities. This sounds
yeah,
like completely different. uh, the,
I try it. Yeah.
yeah,
There will always be, some drama. Some people may not get along and stuff like that. And it's an expected thing. You throw a bunch of people together, not everything's ever gonna,
right,
click
right,
perfectly.
right, right.
But you do your best to do what you can, and you try to make the point of it is you try and make sure everybody gets to be in like I would say playing even field. Like I'm not ever gonna be comfortable with a certain type of stream.
Right.
But the point is, you don't have to like a stream, like a type of stream, and not the streamer. The streamer is an individual who's just, sometimes doing a bit, doing an act,
Hmm.
playing the role.
Right.
And like you can hate the stream. You may like I know people don't are not always comfortable with YouTubers,
Right.
but that doesn't make the streamer themselves a bad individual. They can be like parents, they can be teachers, they can be police officers. What they do in their own personal life makes them individuals. And I always
Yeah.
try to approach that as that. Like
Yeah. Yeah. It's
whatever content you make, it's you, not like that.
well. Here's the thing too, and I hope that people who are not uh, performers but are fans and followers and chat members realize that if you don't like it, there's a lot of other people doing things.
Hmm.
You don't need to leave a truth bomb and leave, or cause a ruckus and intentionally try to make somebody look or bring a situation down. If you don't like it, just go somewhere else.
Exactly.
Um,
That's something like that we also discussed. Like we made a rule like and no matter what you think of somebody's stream, remember this is a stream. Always judge the individual separate from the stream. Never go to a stream thinking like you if you go to a YouTuber stream, do realize that that person's gonna make raunchy jokes. They're gonna make probably a bunch of like not safe for work commentary.
mhm.
And if you're going to there and judging that for that, that's on you, the individual, because you should know better.
Oh
This
yeah.
is not a content for you.
Hmm.
You have content like others.
Oh, absolutely. It's like people who go to a movie to complain about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, look, I went with my stepdaughter to go see Transformers 2. I knew I wasn't going to watch an Oscar movie. I wasn't going to watch the greatest writing ever. I wanted to see stuff blow up, and we went and we
Yeah,
watched stuff blow up. I enjoyed it.
exactly. I gone to streams of people like I know the streamer is just gonna do stupid stuff, and I kind of just want to go there just to laugh. Or
Yeah,
like there's somebody who's like, I go to Fuyu stream sometimes like when I done a long stream
yeah.
and I'm exhausted. Fuyu always gives me a very chill stream, so I go to her and just unwind for the rest of the night before I go to sleep and how to do that stuff like that. It's like you go to the content that you connect with, and it's
Oh
just
yeah,
like you gotta know what you're going for, and it's
yeah,
always you gotta respect always a streamer.
yeah. And it does absolutely no good in to leave some you know a sack full of crap behind and on fire or something. It just brings everybody down, and I don't see the
Hmm.
reason for it. I mean, it
No,
just
there's what most people don't realize. from being outside the perspective is being overly judgmental to people. You don't know how that affects them, and
Mm,
you gotta be careful. Like, you don't have to like the content. It's fine.
hmm.
Nobody's ever gonna like every single content in the world. I myself, I'm not a fan of country music. You put country music around me, I'm like, it's not for me.
Yeah,
But it doesn't mean I'm gonna hate the musician. Musician, good for them. They're doing whatever they love,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's the thing is you can hate a content. You can hate it as much as you like.
yeah,
That's fine. It's not for you.
yeah,
Just don't hate the person making it.
yeah. I mean, a person could be a really good actor and make a really stinky movie.
Oh yeah, no, that's I've seen it.
Yeah.
I love watching bad movies because it's a fun way of drinking.
Yeah, I sometimes I'll watch some of the old movies that are on YouTube that are public domain and
Oh,
are really terrible and I'll just
oh,
watch it just to laugh along with it and
it,
that I said
those are
realize
great.
these guys
Yeah,
are putting their their best effort into it, but it's just it's a ball of cheese. What are you gonna do with it? But it's fun and you can still enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, there's plenty of other fish. Um,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
just
No, it's bad movies always fun too. Actually, I would
yeah.
say that. I used to, very early on in the days, I used to have like drinking nights for bad movies or like Escape from Planet Nine
Oh
or The
yeah.
Room and stuff like that. Those were good times back then.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's one movie that was just the worst I've ever. That it's not even really a movie. It was a movie that started filming in 1965 and finished in 1969, and it was just cobbled together. It's called I think Doomsday Device, and it's really terrible.
Oh,
It
actually, I've not seen this one.
oh if it's on YouTube. You won't understand it. There is nothing to understand about this film. Literally,
I
it wasn't finished. They stopped making it. Somebody bought it later and then finished it with other actors.
oh.
Yeah, and used for a spaceship. They used all sorts of footage, free footage, and the spaceship changes all the time. It's it's just
Huh. That's that's a that's an interest that itself. I feel like there should be a documentary about that. That's an
ah
interesting, weird way of continuing a movie that
ah.
fully does not integrate well.
It just there's stuff filmed. It just makes absolutely no sense, and it's funny to watch. I mean, it kind of hurts your head a little bit, but it's funny to watch. Um,
Those are some of the best kind. They're
yeah,
just you mock it.
yeah, absolutely. So when you're on stream, what type of stuff are you putting out? What am I going to see?
So most of my streams are more like I'll say 90% of it, heck, probably 95% of it are collabs. So
Mm,
I use mostly various different games from either very chill games to FPSs, uh, like some of the I done Lockdown, I
mhm,
done Among Us. So it's all about like trying to do as many different type of collabs from
mhm,
either small collabs that are like with 2 to 4 people or huge collabs where my usual collab I've been doing, which are the Dale and Dawson ones, I do I do it once a Saturday every single month, and it's been going
mhm.
ongoing now, and it's about to hit the fifth one next month, where I've slowly gathered more and more people. We started off with only 5 players, which
Yeah,
was Katarina Rune, Renami Binks, Pirates, Atria, and me. And it was only us 5 at that
yeah,
start.
yeah.
And it was a collab started with me and Ray. So we both wanted to do a game with people.
Right.
We asked a bunch of our friends, only those people came up with us. And
Yeah.
then every other time we got a bigger and bigger amount of people. Like we had one time where we had 12 people show up in total. So
Oh,
it's been a nice slowly growing event.
oh,
It's been a fun one.
oh. And talking about riding herd over cats.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to be some chaos there.
It's been a journey. And yeah, yeah, it's mostly I mostly do collabs. I plan them a lot, so
Mm,
it's a lot of scheduling things because it's people from England, it's people from like different parts of the EU, and
yeah,
we have people
absolutely.
from the US and Canada,
And
and it's
and
a lot of like scheduling things where I'm like gotta plan things almost like say 2 weeks ahead sometimes.
oh yeah, yeah. I have a for my interviews. I have a book that I have scheduled everything in because I'm talking with people from um, all over the planet, and uh, thankfully, and sometimes on the same day I'll talk to somebody from, say, the UK, and then I'll talk to somebody from Australia. Uh, that's that's a lot of difference in time zone.
Yes, no, it's a lot.
Yeah,
It, it's it,
and sometimes
oh,
and anybody in between makes it even worse. There's
it,
one
it's a it, it, yeah.
Yeah, there's one time zone in Australia that's like a half hour off. I'm like, "Yeah,
Oh yes.
like what?
Because I know somebody down there,
Yeah,
Lillian Vixen,
yeah,
who I've known her for a while now. Yeah, so I know of the weird time zones down there. It's a very weirdly hot country with for time.
How do you even do that?
It's a weird one because I seen the map for the time zones
Yeah,
because I was curious, and it's not even a straight line. It's almost like a cut weird angle line.
yeah. It's like they're cutting it up for like political purposes, but it's time instead. You don't vote
I,
for
I,
time; it just happens.
it could have been actually political. Yeah, that would I could see that being a weird political thing back in the day.
And then
Yeah,
and it's hard enough sometimes to figure it out when you're just sitting in the middle of the Midwest and everything is +6 or -6. It makes it a lot easier.
yeah. No, it's a process, but over time I've gotten more used to it. And it's a managing of like, okay, I know a bunch of these people are more used to it on this hour, so over time I kind of created a set time for specific people.
Well, when you got started
Mhm.
with this, would you have any idea that you would have come up with something like this and then known so many people and been involved with so many things?
No, so the only reason I ever started really, and the reason I still even do it for me, it's always been just playing with friends, doing things with people that I meet over time.
You know?
And it was never supposed to be a big thing for me. When I first started, I told my friends, I'm like, I probably wouldn't even get to 50 by the end of the year. I'm going for this just to play with a couple of people I know.
Yeah.
And that was my entire goal. Was I wanted to do that, and over time, I wanted to do stuff like TTRPGs on stream, stuff like that.
Right.
It was never gonna be about me getting close to this high numbers by now. I never expected it. I just thought it was like I'm doing this just casually, fully,
Yeah.
make friends, have
Yeah.
fun. That's all, and
Hey,
like
you
didn't expect this.
you made some friends, all right?
Yeah, way too many. It comes to the point where I now know way too many people. I'm like, even going onto this server, I immediately recognize, I think, like 8 names that I have, have
Oh,
contacts with.
that is cool. I mean, to have that type of
Mm.
success fairly quickly. Um, it, every once in a while, do you sit back and kind of, some people end up with things like imposter syndrome. Like, I didn't want that. This isn't me. Does that happen to you
Mhm.
every once in a while? You look up and say, what am I doing here with this?
Oh, it happens to me daily. I am confused to this day why people are like, my God. I'm like, I know I'm not. I'm like, it is a point where like, why are you still watching this? And like, I mostly just go for this just for the fun of it. I'm not going for anything. I'm like, I don't know why your people come to this,
Yeah.
but I'm happy people come. I love just since most of my followers are really content creators. It's just fun.
Hmm.
Like when they come in, my moderator Yuki, he knows how I approach things. So anytime a streamer comes into chat inside my when I'm streaming, he'll automatically give them shoutouts.
Mm.
And it's funny too because new ones that never been into it are confused about it. I'm like, oh no, it's just how we approach things here.
This is the house rules.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't even have to tell Yuki whenever he's moderating for me to do it. He
Yeah.
just automatically does it now.
Well, it's great to have, and one of these days I'm going to just do a show with moderators on because I'm going to talk with why they do it and how important it is. Because if you've got an audience that's getting up there, they're very important. They have to keep an eye and kind of ride herd over everything and make sure it doesn't get out of hand and make sure that you don't have to deal with it while you're doing other things.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It It's an interesting case. I never understood, like, even myself, I'm like, I don't get, like, it's an interesting case, like, moderators, why they approach it, why they stick around and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, I will constantly, just for jokes, and he knows it too. And he himself will give me sass back because whenever I forget to finish my stream, he'll go to my DMs and like he'll like, "Hey, dummy, you forgot to finish your stream." Like, oh, oops.
Oops.
And, like, I'll sass him on stream all the time. And I'm like, it's an interesting kid that they stick around and like I don't really get it, but I'm like happy he has been stuck around.
Well, that's wonderful. Obviously, you're enjoying yourself immensely here because, I mean, you can hear it in your voice how
Oh
much
yeah.
you're enjoying it. Um, what would you do if you didn't have this? I mean,
Well, I have my job. I am a librarian for a
yeah,
living, and it's something I love. I always loved books. It's been
right,
always my fascination,
yeah,
and I have as my manager would say, a quick understanding on how to do cataloging and all that. Like
right,
it in intuitiveness, they always describe it as. So
yeah,
it's something I do for a living, and it's why I can be kind of online a lot too with managing things because I'm at a computer desk
yeah.
managing books 24/7 almost.
With one window that they can't see.
Exactly, exactly. That's how I'm like, I have my windows open there. I'm like, all right, let me just make sure everybody's in the server's doing well.
Yeah,
I like to do what I normally do. Is like I do almost a daily check in on people. Like, okay, how are you feeling today? Because everybody has things going on in their lives. I
yeah,
like to like check in that everybody's feeling good. And like, how can I help you today? If you need to talk or anything
yeah.
like that. So it helps that I can do that.
Well, yeah, you mentioned it. Everybody's got their own stories and backgrounds and talents, and that's what makes this particular medium so amazing. Is that
Hmm.
I talked to you. We have a certain background. Like somebody else, they have a different background, a reason to do this, different talents, and thankfully now we have as consumers, consumers,
Hmm.
chat members, we have a chance now to hear these talents and participate in a little of it from people around the world that we otherwise wouldn't even know existed.
It's fascinating, honestly, because I never knew of VTubers for a while until I would say COVID hit,
Right?
and my friend sent me a bunch of clips from Hololive, and they were from Fubuki, and I'm like, oh, this is an interesting thing, and I slowly just got into the VTuber hole,
Yeah.
and it's a funny case that I've now met one of the people I've always wanted to meet,
Yeah.
which is Yokasuri. In
Hmm.
it was fascinating just having a single game with them. It was I've watched Yokasuri's clips before. It was always funny, and
Yeah.
to have the chance, even if so far it's just been one stream, just that one stream, to have the chance to play with somebody I looked up to
Yeah.
was fascinating.
Yeah. It is, and something too. And I learned this from the years I did with radio and interviewing people. Is the people that are famous are people.
Hmm.
I mean, once you get past the showbiz stuff, then you get to really know them a little bit, and
Yeah.
they'll answer and they'll talk with you, and while you don't really lose the luster of what they're doing and what they do, you get kind of a better appreciation for them, and and I'm sure they appreciate it too, being able to talk to somebody normally. It is it's an amazing thing when you break that down and realize that while so and so might be an incredibly good basketball player, they also like peanut butter sandwiches. you know?
No, it's always an approach I tell people is because my friend when they first met Yokasiri, I told like don't be nervous. They're just an individual. Like I don't approach people as celebrities or stuff like that. Like I gone to Comic Cons for years,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm happy to meet these people, but like the reason I never got nervous, and it's part of it is because I'm kind of, as I tell people, I'm shameless. I will go up to people. It's like, hey, I like what you're doing. Want to
Yeah,
talk? And I do that approach a lot of times with a
yeah,
bunch of streamers.
yeah, yeah, and they're like, yeah, yeah, okay, fine.
Exactly. But it's the way also I think of it as with celebrities. I'm like, I don't see them as these giant stars. They're
Mm-hmm.
just, they're people who are really good, talented, hard workers. Now, approach them with respect and all that.
Yeah,
But it's also me seeing them more as humans. Like I know they have difficulties. I know that they have lives out there, and you can approach people as what they are, which is just people. They're just people, and
Yeah.
same thing with streamers. I don't look at streamers for their numbers. Even like when in my own strays,
Mm,
I don't see any of the numbers. I'm like, okay, you're somebody I like talking to.
yeah.
Let's go have fun. I don't care how many followers you got. I just want to play with you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's everybody is human if you allow them to be.
Hmm.
And it does break down to that. And I've had the best conversations with people when that wall is broken and you just start talking, because
Yes.
you have to be interested in them, and they get interested in the conversation, and it really makes for a much better interview, I think, that way, and much better interaction with people in general. Um, you come out of it with something a little different than hi, shake hand, get autograph, and leave.
Hmm.
You get a chance to have them interact with them a little bit on a
Yes.
human level. There's so much difference to that, and I hope you act that way when you get to your 1 million followers.
Oh God, that number is gonna be. Oh, like in my early careers, man, Mushi Cat rated me with around 400 people, and that was already a frightening amount of numbers back then. Like 400 viewers in one go, all there. I'm like, oh boy,
and then
what
and
do I
then
do with this?
and then you fainted.
It was nerve wracking back then, and I love Mushi Cat, great streamer, wonderful person. I'm installing her server, and it was just one of the things like, oh my God, thank you. But
Uh,
yeah, no, it's a case of like, yeah, I would like to always think I would approach people as like, people.
oh yeah.
I don't wanna have an ego. I'm not really the type of person who wants that. Uh Heck, being a supervisor of my own job is like, I don't want to approach people as a supervisor. I just want to approach people as, uh, on the same playing field kind of thing.
Yeah,
And like, I
yeah,
hope I still like that when I
yeah.
get to 1 million.
Well, here's the thing. You're very personable, and
Mm.
it does make a big difference. Are you this personable away from the screen?
Oh yeah, I'm like this 24/7. I do not play a role when I'm this person like this. I'll play bits 100%, but I also do that in real life where I'm
Yeah,
like, I'll make dumb jokes, I'll make things purposely cringe comedy and stuff like
yeah,
that. I always been like this. I like approaching people. I like talking to people. I like being friendly. I was my general belief, which I always kept, was if I can make a person smile just once a day, that might make their day a little bit better. So
mhm.
it's the way, it's like my mantra. I always try to approach every day like that.
Well, that's a better way than mine. My approach is, hey, I woke up.
That's another way. Get the coffee and go towards the day and get
Yeah,
to work.
yeah. Should I stay up? Should I go back to sleep?
Oh God, yeah. Sometimes I wish I didn't have to go to work some days.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you get my age, you're just happy that your eyes work. but but
Yeah, yeah.
no, it's a great attitude to have, and it shows the type of person that you are, and the fact that you got this going for you so early and doing so well. Um, has that has that got to you where you've I know you say that you're doing this for fun, you know,
Mhm.
but way back there, is there something that says, I can make a real good go of this if I put everything into it?
Part of it, yes, I would say like I wouldn't mind like, one day like create like a full on group,
Hmm.
like official groups kind of thing, and
Hmm.
like approaching things like for like that. Like it would be fun if it ever happens,
Yeah.
like fully be a professional streamer.
Hmm.
But for now, for me, like part of it also like as long as I'm having fun with the journey, as long as I'm doing what I love,
Yeah.
which to me, most of what this is to me is just a way to keep constantly meeting more and more people. Like
Hmm.
today, I had an impromptu stream with somebody, Bunny Nova,
Hmm.
who I bumped into by accident. I seen some of her streams, and Bunny Nova, she was in my chat, and we were playing games with Akane,
Yeah.
and it was an impromptu time to play. We were just doing a silly crab championship game. Bunny comes in. I'm like, hey, you like this game? Get in, get in here. We'll do an impromptu collab right now. And stuff like that. Like I see it mostly as, for now at least, the journey is the fun part. If I end up getting a huge amount of followers, sure, why not? Let's keep going. Let's see how far I can push this.
Yeah. But in the meantime,
My
you're enjoying the journey.
yeah.
Yeah. That's well. Keep going, and I hope I don't want to see anything but the best for you the rest of the way. And I one of these days I want you to come back and we'll talk about the kind of the mechanics behind the strays and
Oh yes, gladly.
bring some of them along with you.
Oh, gladly. I'm glad. And
Round up the strays.
Technically, this server, you already have 2 of them.
Yeah, I know. It's funny and it's just good and it's just a lot of fun. And to know that organizations like that or groups like that are out there and are generally in a positive way for everybody is heartening, and want to promote that as much as possible. And we will promote you as much as possible too, because we're going to have the links that we were able to find up on the interview description for this. Isa, thank you so much for coming on. It
was a pleasure.
Absolutely
Truly pleasure.
And we'll get you on again. We'll talk about the strays and more. Just keep on flying. I want to see where this plane lands.
Thank you. No, I'm gladly. I'll definitely come back. I'll bring some of the staff of the strays, and they can discuss how they run the server, because I leave it to them to, like, I get my voice and I'm like, all right, I trust you guys to do these things as you need to without me being over your heads.
You've already done the supervisor thing. You don't want to come back and do more supervisor stuff.
Oh, I do enough as it is.
That's right. Me, I'm just lazy. It's much easier.
Yes.
But
truly, it was a pleasure being here.
You too, and we'll talk again soon.
Yes, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.